Welcome to the Bible in a Year reading plan. Together we will read through the entire Bible. A portion from the Old Testament, New Testament, Psalms and Proverbs every day. Today's reading is in the video image. Read along, listen daily, and grow in the Word. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay on track with us daily. And you can always go back to previous videos if you miss any days. Genesis 44:1 And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, Fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put each man's money in the mouth of his sack. 2 Also put my cup, the silver cup, in the mouth of the sack of the youngest, and his grain money. So he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. 3 As soon as the morning dawned, the men were sent away, they and their donkeys. 4 When they had gone out of the city, and were not yet far off, Joseph said to his steward, Get up, follow the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, Why have you repaid evil for good? 5 Is not this the one from which my Lord drinks, and with which he indeed practices divination? You have done evil in so doing. 6 So he overtook them, and he spoke to them these same words. 7 And they said to him, Why does my Lord say these words? Far be it from us that your servants should do such a thing. 8 Look, we brought back to you from the land of Canaan the money which we found in the mouth of our sacks. How then could we steal silver or gold from your Lord's house? 9 With whomever of your servants it is found, let him die, and we also will be my Lord's slaves. 10 And he said, Now also let it be according to your words. He with whom it is found shall be my slave, and you shall be blameless. 11 Then each man speedily let down his sack to the ground, and each opened his sack. 12 So he searched. He began with the oldest and left off with the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. 13 Then they tore their clothes, and each man loaded his donkey and returned to the city. 14 So Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, and he was still there, and they fell before him on the ground. 15 And Joseph said to them, What deed is this you have done? Did you not know that such a man as I can certainly practice divination? 16 Then Judah said, What shall we say to my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? God has found out the iniquity of your servants. Here we are, my Lord's slaves, both we and he also with whom the cup was found. 17 But he said, Far be it from me that I should do so. The man in whose hand the cup was found, he shall be my slave. And as for you, go up in peace to your father. 18 Then Judah came near to him and said, O my Lord, please let your servant speak a word in my Lord's hearing, and do not let your anger burn against your servant, for you are even like Pharaoh. 19 My Lord asked his servants, saying, Have you a father or a brother? 20 And we said to my Lord, We have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, who is young. His brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother's children, and his father loves him. 21 Then you said to your servants, Bring him down to me, that I may set my eyes on him. 22 And we said to my Lord, The lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. 23 But you said to your servants, Unless your youngest brother comes down with you, you shall see my face no more. 24 So it was, when we went up to your servant my father, that we told him the words of my Lord. 25 And our father said, Go back and buy us a little food. 26 But we said, We cannot go down. If our youngest brother is with us, then we will go down, for we may not see the man's face unless our youngest brother is with us. 27 Then your servant my father said to us, You know that my wife bore me 2 sons. 28 And the one went out from me, and I said, Surely he is torn to pieces, and I have not seen him since. 29 But if you take this one also from me, and calamity befalls him, you shall bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave. 30 Now therefore, when I come to your servant my father, and the lad is not with us, since his life is bound up in the lad's life. 31 It will happen, when he sees that the lad is not with us, that he will die. So your servants will bring down the gray hair of your servant our father with sorrow to the grave. 32 For your servant became surety for the lad to my father, saying, If I do not bring him back to you, then I shall bear the blame before my father forever. 33 Now therefore, please let your servant remain instead of the lad as a slave to my lord, And let the lad go up with his brothers. 34 For how shall I go up to my father if the lad is not with me, lest perhaps I see the evil that would come upon my father? Genesis 45. 1 Then Joseph could not restrain himself before all those who stood by him, and he cried out, Make everyone go out from me. So no one stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. 2 And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard it. 3 Then Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph, does my father still live? But his brothers could not answer him, for they were dismayed in his presence. 4 And Joseph said to his brothers, Please come near to me. So they came near. Then he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom you sold into Egypt. 5 But now, do not therefore be grieved or angry with yourselves because you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life. 6 For these 2 years the famine has been in the land, and there are still 5 years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvesting. 7 And God sent me before you to preserve a posterity for you in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. 8 So now it was not you who sent me here, but God, and he has made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. 9 Hurry and go up to my father, and say to him, Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me. Do not tarry. 10 You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near to me, you and your children, your children's children, your flocks and your herds, and all that you have. 11 There I will provide for you, lest you and your household and all that you have come to poverty, for there are still 5 years of famine. 12 And behold, your eyes and the eyes of my brother Benjamin see that it is my mouth that speaks to you. 13 So you shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that you have seen, and you shall hurry and bring my father down here. 14 Then he fell on his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept on his neck. 15 Moreover he kissed all his brothers and wept over them, and after that his brothers talked with him. 16 Now the report of it was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brothers have come. So it pleased Pharaoh and his servants well. 17 And Pharaoh said to Joseph, Say to your brothers, Do this, load your animals and depart. Go to the land of Canaan. 18 Bring your father and your households and come to me. I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you will eat the fat of the land. 19 Now you are commanded do this. Take carts out of the land of Egypt for your little ones and your wives. Bring your father and come. 20 Also do not be concerned about your goods, for the best of all the land of Egypt is yours. 21 Then the sons of Israel did so, and Joseph gave them carts, according to the command of Pharaoh, and he gave them provisions for the journey. 22 He gave to all of them, to each man, changes of garments, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of garments. 23 And he sent to his father these things, 10 donkeys loaded with the good things of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain, bread, and food for his father for the journey. 24 So he sent his brothers away, and they departed, and he said to them, See that you do not become troubled along the way. 25 Then they went up out of Egypt, and came to the land of Canaan to Jacob their father. 26 And they told him, saying, Joseph is still alive, and he is governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart stood still, because he did not believe them. 27 But when they told him all the words which Joseph had said to them, and when he saw the carts which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob their father revived. 28 Then Israel said, It is enough. Joseph my son is still alive. I will go and see him before I die. Matthew 13:44 Again, the kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and hid, and for joy over it he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. 45 Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant seeking beautiful pearls. 46 Who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. 47 Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a dragnet that was cast into the sea and gathered some of every kind. 48 Which, when it was full, they drew to shore. And they sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but threw the bad away. 49 So it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come forth, separate the wicked from among the just, 50, and cast them into the furnace of fire. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. 51 Jesus said to them, "Have you understood all these things?" They said to him, "Yes, Lord." 52 Then he said to them, "Therefore every scribe instructed concerning the kingdom of heaven is like a householder who brings out of his treasure things new and old." 53 Now it came to pass, when Jesus had finished these parables, that he departed from there. 54 And when he had come to his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, so that they were astonished and said, "Where did this man get this wisdom and these mighty works?" 55 Is this not the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary? And his brothers James, Joses, Simon, and Judas? 56 And his sisters, are they not all with us? Where then did this man get all these things? 57 So they were offended at him. But Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his own country and in his own house." 58 Now he did not do many mighty works there because of their unbelief. Psalm 19. 1 To the chief musician. A psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. 2 Day unto day utters speech, and night unto night reveals knowledge. 3 There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. 4 Their line has gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them he has set a tabernacle for the sun. 5 Which is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoices like a strong man to run its race. 6 Its rising is from one end of heaven, and its circuit to the other end, and there is nothing hidden from its heat. 7 The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. 8 The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. 9 The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. 10 More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. 11 Moreover by them your servant is warned, and in keeping them there is great reward. 12 Who can understand his errors? Cleanse me from secret faults. 13 Keep back your servant also from presumptuous sins, let them not have dominion over me. Then I shall be blameless, and I shall be innocent of great transgression. 14 Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Proverbs 19. 1 Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than one who is perverse in his lips, and is a fool. 2 Also it is not good for a soul to be without knowledge, and he sins who hastens with his feet. 3 The foolishness of a man twists his way, and his heart frets against the Lord. 4 Wealth makes many friends, but the poor is separated from his friend. 5 A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who speaks lies will not escape. 6 Many entreat the favor of the nobility, and every man is a friend too one who gives gifts. 7 All the brothers of the poor hate him, how much more do his friends go far from him? He may pursue them with words, yet they abandon him. 8 He who gets wisdom loves his own soul, he who keeps understanding will find good. 9 A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who speaks lies shall perish. 10 Luxury is not fitting for a fool, much less for a servant to rule over princes. 11 The discretion of a man makes him slow to anger, and his glory is to overlook a transgression. 12 The king's wrath is like the roaring of a lion, but his favor is like dew on the grass. 13 A foolish son is the ruin of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dripping. 14 Houses and riches are an inheritance from fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. 15 Laziness casts one into a deep sleep, and an idle person will suffer hunger. 16 He who keeps the commandment keeps his soul, but he who is careless of his ways will die. 17 He who has pity on the poor lends to the Lord, and he will pay back what he has given. 18 Chasten your son while there is hope, and do not set your heart On his destruction. Point 19. A man of great wrath will suffer punishment, for if you rescue him, you will have to do it again. Point 20. Listen to counsel and receive instruction, that you may be wise in your latter days. Point 21. There are many plans in a man's heart, nevertheless the Lord's counsel that will stand. Point 22. What is desired in a man is kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. Point 23. The fear of the Lord leads to life, and he who has it will abide in satisfaction. He will not be visited with evil. Point 24a. Lazy man buries his hand in the bowl, and will not so much as bring it to his mouth again. Point 25. Strike a scoffer, and the simple will become wary. Rebuke one who has understanding, and he will discern knowledge. Point 26. He who mistreats his father and chases away his mother is a son who causes shame and brings reproach. Point 27. Cease listening to instruction, my son, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. Point 28. A disreputable witness scorns justice, and the mouth of the wicked devours iniquity. Point 29. Judgments are prepared for scoffers, and beatings for the backs of fools. Thanks for reading with me today. Come back tomorrow as we continue our journey through the Bible. Like and subscribe so you don't miss the next day.